Hi everybody, it's Nick. We'll see how this vlog goes. A couple of things. One is my son's nicked my earphones, so we might get a bit of background noise. Secondly, I'm actually attempting to walk all 4 dogs today, including Panda, our new collie. So yeah, we'll see whether I can pull this off. I've just been reading a book. It's about death, and it's about, in order to live a better life, understanding and talking about Amanda Blainey. And it's just brought the whole issue of grief back to my mind, really. And you know, I think probably most of you know, I'm a really massive supporter of the fact that we need to talk about death more, for several reasons. One is, I think, you know, we all pretend, how to say it, so we know death exists, yeah, we know that is as sure as anything, we're all going to die. We kind of talk about it, but we talk about it in a really abstract sense. We don't really make it very meaningful. You know, we have at school, we have sex education, we do drugs awareness, we do global awareness, we do all of this, but we don't actually do anything really around death. And that book kind of brought it home, and what the crux of it is basically what she's saying is that, you know, it's really important to think about death, not because you just want to be morbid, but actually because, you know, life has an end point. Therefore, it gives us perspective. It gives us something to go for. It helps us retain perspective and not get too wound up in all of the noise and, quite frankly, the superficial shit that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It doesn't feel like that when you're in it, does it? And it got me thinking. For me, I mean, you know, do you know what? I still have to take a deep breath. It's nearly 3 years now since I lost my dad, but you know, it's still very, very raw. And I think one of the honestly the crappiest phrases is, "Oh, you'll get over it." Of course you won't get over it. You know, when you've lost somebody that you love deeply, you change forever. The person who you were when that other person was alive, part of you kind of dies with them, because they're no longer there. And so part of your grief, you know, is selfishly about that change that you have to learn to adjust to. You have to learn to reorder your life. For me, you know, I was losing my dad. My dad was, you know, my place of safety, my best friend. So I kind of had to grow up and, you know, find my own place of safety. And that took a long time. And I think I was in a dark cave for quite a while, but it was a very necessary dark cave because, you know, there's a bit of soul searching and stuff that needed to be answered about how I was gonna, you know, how life was going to be without him. And that's an ongoing journey. So you don't get over it. You find a way to live with it, and you find a way to conduct your life without them. But I think the other thing as well is, if I'm honest, I don't want to get over it. I don't want to not cry when I think about him, because that's my connection. You know, that depth of that grief, that emotion that grief stirs in me, is a reminder of the love that I had for him. And it's incredibly intimate. It's an incredibly intimate thing between me and him. And he might not be here, but that grief is my, does this make sense? It's still my connection to him, and reminds me, you know, of what a deep love and a deep connection I had with my dad and how blessed I was. So in a lot of ways, I don't actually want to be in a position where I don't cry when I talk about him, and I don't feel that ache and that stab, because that's my connection to him, you know, because it's feeling and it's a depth of emotion, and that's important. I think the thing I would like to change, if anything, is the anxiety and the trauma. I have to bend down a minute because I've got 4 dogs very trapped around my legs. Look, they're all straightened out now. Good. It's the anxiety and the trauma that went through it, and a lot of that for me was because nobody would talk about it. Nobody would talk about what was going to really happen. There was no preparation. It was like a bloody steamroller coming, and everybody, you know, heads down, look the other way. Oh, you know, soothing, you know, quite frankly, bollocks. It'll be all right, you know, make the best of the time you've got. Well, actually, you know, he was going to die. It wasn't actually going to be that all right. And I think what would have made it more all right is being able to have an honest and compassionate conversation about what that meant. So it wasn't quite so much of a shock. So I've read that book. It's another good book, along with Catherine Mannix, that's really bringing this subject up. And I guess I just wanted to say, I think we just need to keep talking about it, and we just need to keep making it, much more of a mainstream part of our narrative. And the fact is, it's going to happen to us all. And in one way or another, we need to just help each other be able to cope with that. And also recognise that this isn't like, you cut yourself in your heel and you move on. This is very different. This is deeper. And that's okay. And for me, perversely, the grief is a bit like a comfort blanket, because it's still my connection to my dad, and I don't want to lose that. So I don't know what it's like for others, and I hope that this has helped somebody or some other people in its own way who are trying to live alongside grief. Okay, lots of love. Bye.